All right, so now we're going to start taking notes on the next unit or next section of Unit 2. Learning Target 2B, I can combine like terms. So you should have your math notebook out, or if you don't have your notebook, have a sheet of paper so that you can take notes of what you see me teaching you about combining like terms. So we have an expression. So this is all an expression. There is no equal sign, so it's an expression. 7x plus 3 minus 5x plus 8 plus 4x minus 1. So this is there are a lot of terms. We have one term, two terms, three terms, 4, 5, 6 different terms in this one expression, but by combining like terms, we can simplify that and make it a lot easier to work with. Okay, so we can have variable terms in our expression. So these are terms with a variable. And again, a variable is a letter that we use to represent a number that we do not know. It's an unknown number. So in this example, x is a variable. So these are all terms with a variable. We have 7x. We have negative 5x, because they both have a number and they both have the letter x. We have 4x. So these are all variables with a term. X, negative 5x, and 4x. All right, so just the same, we can have constant terms. So these are terms without a variable. So there is no variable or letter with that term. So in this example, the number 3, 8, and negative 1, because none of these terms have the letter x with it. So these are constant terms. So examples are 3, 8, and negative 1. So just the same, so from our terms with a variable, we can also identify the coefficient. So the coefficient is the number in front of the variable. So when we're looking at our variable terms, 7 is the number in front of the variable. So 7 is the coefficient. When you look at this example or this term, negative 5 is the number in front of the variable. And when you look at this last term, the number 4 is the coefficient because it's the number before the variable. So these are our coefficients, the numbers in front of the variable. All right, so now let's go ahead and take a look at how do we simplify an algebraic expression by combining like terms. So this means to combine common variable terms, and then we can also combine constant terms. So let's look at this first expression here. We have 7x. It's a number, it's one of the terms that has a variable. We have negative 5x because it's a number and it has the variable x. And then we also have 4x because it has the number 4 in front of the variable. So there's a number and a variable for each of these terms. Now we just have to combine them together. So 7 minus 5 is 2. 7 minus 5 is 2. And then 2 plus 4 is 6. But since each of these terms has the letter x or the variable x, we have to include the x. So 7x minus 5x plus 4x combine to equal 6x. Now let's look at our terms, our constant terms, or our terms without a variable. We have the number 3. And this plus sign goes with the 3. We have the number 8. There's no variable with the number 8, so this is our next constant term. And then we have -1. So again, the minus sign or the plus sign in front of the number goes with that number that comes right after it. Okay, so let's combine. 3 plus 8 is 11. 11 minus 1 is 10. Since it's a positive 10, this is what our expression simplifies to. We went from having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different terms. Now we only have 2 terms. So they simplify to 6x plus 10. And this is your final answer. Okay, this is your answer. All right, let's take a look at some more examples. We are going to simplify the term or each expression. So number 1, 9a minus 10a. Well, both of these terms have a number and they both have a variable, the same variable. So we can combine them. You do the math, pull out your calculator and type 9 minus 10. You will get -1. And since both terms have the letter A, your answer also has the letter A. So 9a minus 10a equals -1a. We have combined that term. Let's take a look at number 2. So our terms with a variable. We have 26a. This one has a B. Oh, we have -4a. And that's it. Okay, so 26a minus 4a combines. 26 minus 4 is 22. And since both terms have the letter A, we also keep the A. So 26a minus 4a equals 22a. Let's next combine our variables or terms with the letter B. We have plus 2b and plus 10b. So if we add 2 plus 10, that equals 12. And since both terms have the letter B, your answer also has B. So number 2 simplifies to 22a plus 12b. All right, let's take a look at number 3. All right, this one's a little bit tricky. We have 2 variables in one term, right? So this term has -4a squared b, okay? So this is one term. 7 is just the number 7. It's a constant. So we can't combine that. So this term, 10a squared b, is just like this one. It has the same variables and the same exponents as the first term. So we can combine these two together. -4 plus 6, -4 plus 10 equals 6. And since both terms have an a squared, we need to keep that. And then both terms have the variable b. So that simplifies to 6a squared b. And then we just have the constant term 7. There's nothing else to combine it with, so we just keep the plus 7. So that's what that simplifies to. All right, let's take a look at number 4. We have 4x squared. Let's see, what else we can't combine it with this. Can't combine it with this because there's no squared, but we can combine it with this minus 3x squared. Let's see, and that's it. So we can't combine it with anything else. 4 minus 3 is 1, and since both terms have an x squared, That's how we write it. Then let's see, we also can combine, we have a constant term, -7, which can combine, oh, that has an x, this has an x, but it can combine with this -6. So -7 minus 6, if you plug that into your calculator, you will get -13. And let's see what else we can combine. This 2x with 8x, because they both have a number and they both have just the letter x. 2 plus 8 is 10. And then they both have the variable x, so we keep the x. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 terms has been simplified into 1, 2, 3 terms. 3 terms total. And actually in algebra, you don't even write the 1 in front of the x squared. It's understood that there's a 1. So this is the correct way to write the answer, but either is acceptable. Oops. That's an x. 10x. Either one of these is correct, but this is like really correct. Make sure you have all these notes written in your notebook. Don't forget to go to Canvas, take a picture of your notes, and submit them so that you can get a grade.